Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Umut Eren Yıldız, and I'm going to talk about the soft power elements of Italy today. First of all, let's define soft power. What is soft power? Soft power is the ability to attract and influence the others, especially the opposed nations, for country by their culture, food, art, or diplomacy, rather than violence, enforcement, and restrictions. So, that brings us the question, what are the soft powers of Italy? There are several ways to influence the populace, as we discussed in the class, and one of the efficient ways of them is culture. For several years, the architecture and the landscapes of Italy are drawing the tourists all around the world. Above all, the Baroque architecture is initiated in Italy at early 16th centuries. St. Peter's Square is a good example of that kind of style of architecture. In other words, the history of the buildings is an attractant for the people from other cultures and other countries. One other issue is the cuisine. The Italian food has always been a charm for the all the world history of time. According to the rumors, pizza is invented by the Persian soldiers while they are taking a hike to the battlefield in war times. But for so long, pizza is remembered with Italians, as we know. Those examples of elements can be elongated with so many things, such as magnificent art history of Italians or music, especially the Italy is the birthplace of opera, or of course we can say that the fashion, which Milan is the heart of fashion of the world. Secondly, we can talk about the diplomacy. At the present time, Europe is seen as the crib of the peace and prosperity. Launching the activity of United Nations is a goodwill indicator for this. But what about the Italy? After the 16th century wars in Italy, Renaissance started to sprout and peaceful diplomacy came along with the Renaissance. In time, this peaceful diplomacy started to spread to all the world, starting with England. Henry VII was among the first to adopt this Italian diplomatic system. Nowadays, Italy is still the people of the Europe with its bureaucrats supporting the peace and important country of the United Nations. In addition, with excellent polling system and with a high and intense rates of participation to the elections, Italy is still at the top of the polling rates and participation in two years in a row. That's a good achievement and also an example of that the Italian populace believing to the diplomacy of their country. Thirdly, of course, the education. Italy has a rooted education system like France, and there are both public and private schooling, all kinds level of schools like primary, middle, and higher education has international students. Actually, Italy has many international students due to having a qualified education, also safe, nurturing, and social environment. There are many universities with quality academicians and laboratories, such as Politecnico di Milano. Lastly, I can say that I can talk about the language. Italian is seen by many of us as a charming language, so that is attracting the people who want to learn a new language. In conclusion, I have talked about the soft power of the Italy today. There are many countries that use its soft power on the folks of the world, and Italy is one of them with its music, food, education, traditions, and I think it's impressing the world in a good way, and thank you for listening.